often survivors of developmental trauma have trouble later securing a sense of good enough, a sense of confidence, self-worth. And these self-perceptions might have been adaptive when trauma was ongoing and helped us to not focus on the injustice of the situation as much and be more practically oriented towards survival. But later in life, they hold us back. We begin to feel as if we're not worthy of our yeses and our nos, our desires, and maybe even feel not worthy of our safety. Often not worthy of safety is about shame and guilt. And the idea that were we to suffer harm, that would be justice. That would be appropriate because of who we are. That when we suffer, this is our penance, our punishment for not being good enough to be safe, not being good enough to live differently. And so I work with these feelings in others and in myself through the idea of good enough. And I approach good enough to keep myself safe, with an understanding that that will disagree with the part of me that has done the most work in keeping me safe. The defensive self that was formed in my development has a perception of a complete lack of value. That by putting myself on the line to protect others around me, this is as it should be. And so when we face these ideas of not good enough, it is good to hold them both in mind, the different states, and to work with them slowly, drop by drop, as the Buddha says. And so I'll contemplate different reasoning and thoughts of why I'm good enough to be safe. And this can start with everyone else, or most others, you know. Why is it good for my friends to feel safe? This is a easier transition. I think of, it's good that my friends are safe because I care about them right off the bat, you know. It's good that my friends are safe because they have many people that care about them, right? That would be sad if they weren't safe. I think of the inherent dignity of all beings and why the inherent dignity of my friends is is really easy to believe in. I can kind of think of characteristics about them and just their humanity, their being who they are, right? And as I notice that feeling of good enough, it pulls a little bit higher than the stomach and starts in the chest, I think. So I'm just kind of close my eyes and let it sink into my stomach. I wish others to feel good enough. Maybe placing a hand on my stomach. I wish others to be good enough, feel good enough. And then noticing the transfer to myself. I notice some discomfort immediately with that transfer, but an openness that I've cultivated. So breathe out, moving the body and releasing this discomfort. I am good enough. Considering some of my contributions, a time when I helped somebody recently, a time when I made it to the gym when I had planned to. Eating healthily lately. The bridge to feeling good enough to feel safe requires a growing acceptance with safety. Understanding the feeling of lack of threat, of resilient capacity. Noticing good enough to be safe.